Hello there, I'm Egil Thorsson, roadcaster, trader and of course storyteller. Before I get going, don't forget to press the old bell up in the corner there and leave us a comment. We'll be more than happy and we will get back to you, trust me. So today I'm going to be talking about my sword, particularly the sword that I own. How did I come by it? Well, I was in a well-known reenactment, Bragi Anglorum, there you go, and you progress up the rank scale and eventually I became what's called an Othel's Bondi. That's an aristocrat, first generation. But for that you needed a sword, and I had a sword before which snapped, and you can't very well go into battle with an empty scabbard. So I remember going to Tyke here. He used to buy and sell things occasionally, and on this occasion, I'll just put that down there, we had this baby, and it belonged to a former member of our group, and I got this for a very reasonable price of £35. Mind you, that is what, 20 odd years ago. And it's made of EN45 steel for safety reasons. Today if you're fighting you need steel that if it does break, breaks, not shatters. And it is based on an English design. It's got the bishop's hat on it there, look. Leather grip, cross guards, and that's basically it. Now there's a lot of myths about swords, and to be honest with you, some people give their swords a name. I haven't, because this is a sword, it's more of a club. Let's be honest, when you're fighting you're battering each other's shields and then you might have a cut, but as you can see it's blunt and the tip is rounded. It's as safe as as safe as you kind of get, but it's about £2 in weight and very effective, and of course the more you use it the better it gets. This is pretty basic sword. In Viking times this would be like owning a top of the range Ferrari, and you had to be of a certain social class to own it. So if a slave picks this up on the battlefield, it's taken off him very quickly. Swords, if you were presented with a sword by the king, which was a great honour, if you died before the king, the sword had to be handed back to the king. However, should the king die before you could keep it and pass it down. The traditional Viking swords varied in quality quite a lot. There is an account where two Vikings are using the swords, have to stop and stand on the swords to straighten them. But there is of course pattern welding. And what you do to start off with, there are magical rights if you want. You feed chickens with iron filings, but the main thing is you stick sticks into soft ground. You then get bog iron, you melt it, it becomes iron, you pour it into the said holes, so you're getting rods. This forms the inner core of your blade, i.e. that bit. You twist them together, say usually use a magical number like 9 is 1. So you twist one set of 3 rods to the right, the next one set of 3 rods you twist to the left, and you build up a big, it's like a cable, then you hammer it flat to get the sword's shape. You then want a cutting edge, so you make steel. Now in those days you didn't have things like Bessemer converters and things like that, and of course the skill of the smith tells here. Some of the steel they made is not been superseded until the 19th century. It's that good. So what you do, you make a piece of steel that goes that long, round, up here to the tang. I'll explain what a tang is in a bit. So you heat weld it together, that gives you a sharp cutting edge. So now you have a blade which has got a sharp cutting edge but is flexible, which is what you want. You then come to this, the cross guard or quillions, and you get a bar, you You make the hole, slide it on there. The tang or rat's tail is like on a file when you take the handle off. It makes it so that you can grip it. I've got little childish hands, mine are small but wide. And we come to the pommel. The pommel is very important. What it does is it balances your sword. A sword without a pommel won't go where you want it to. That is then put on and hammered down. Now, a technique I was shown, you have tension bars in here, slightly longer than that piece there. You hammer those in and it pushes that up and that down. You put wood on there and glue, in this case leather, or you can have bone or wood. There you have your sword. A very effective tool close up, and this in itself can be a weapon. If I'm fighting somebody comes there, I can whack them in the mouth. If a horseman comes, you turn it under the chin, boom, they've got a shattered jaw. Either way it gets rid of them. Now that looks like there's another face of it, that's it. However, excuse me a second, the scabbard, and that's to protect your blade obviously, and of course to carry it. This is the most favoured one in the Viking age. It's called the baldric, and that distributes your weight far better than just wearing it on the belt. As you can see, a strap end and buckle. It's a bit of bling. So as you're walking along you think, hang on, I'm going to trip up. Well, you're not, because you've got this cord here. Has two functions. I slip it under my belt here, tie it off, and then slip it round here. Stops me drawing the sword in anger, and it was called a peace tie. In fact, in certain parts in Wessex you had to have a peace tie, it was the law. So that's my sword. I made the scabbard, but for the one way they made scabbards was, if you can imagine, I'll just take this out, I'm doing my peace tie, the one time I don't need it, it's working. You get sheepskin, fleece inwards, you make it's like a sheath. You then glue both sides of the sheepskin, thin laths of wood are placed on it. You then put a coating of leather on it, let it shrink. Now on here we have what's called the shape. It's on the throat of the scabbard at the top and on the bottom. That stops the point wearing through and you're getting a rusty tip. So basically then, it's a very thumbnail sketch of my sword, and as I say, if you want to know more about swords, please let us know. Bragi has quite a collection of swords. I've only got the one, he's got several dozen. So has Taiki, I believe. So until we meet again, I hope you've enjoyed it. Hello,
hello.
Bragi's here. Hi, Bragi.
Hello, that was a very good video. Just before we end,
yeah.
You move that way and play on camera. What's the difference between a scabbard and a sheath?
I'm assuming a scabbard is solid, whereas a sheath is flexible.
Yes. You've got a sheath, not a scabbard.
Oh right. Oh,
so a scabbard has always got a solid wood.
Yeah.
Leather around it. Sheath is just leather.
See, you learn something new every day.
Something else I learned the other day is that you're not wearing a hat, you're wearing a cap.
Oh, well, now you're talking. Who knows, perhaps I'm not wearing trousers. Maybe, who knows.
I think you are. I think you can just talk the camera and post. There you go.
There you go. I was only joking there. A bit of levity goes.
Egil always wears trousers on camera.
Well, yeah. Okay, so don't forget to press the subscription bell and leave us a comment, and we'll get back to you. Okay? Bye.